Well, howdy folks. What do we got? What's in the box? We're about to find out. It's going to be if this is what I think it is. It'll be an upcoming video. Let's see here. We got parts. We have a tank. We have instructions. We have, I really don't know what that is yet. Fuel line? Ah, this is it. 8 kilowatt diesel heater. Guess these things are kind of all the rage. Oh good, there is no control panel on it, which is nice because I was wondering about placement of where I was going to put this thing. So we have that. Here is the control panel. We have a tiny remote control. And we have a fuel pump. And what else we got in the box over here? Don't need any distractions. We'll take all this out of the box here. See what all we got with it. Oh man, all kinds of parts down there. Let's just take this out. Set this down on the ground. Go through our list of things we got here. Okay, so we got, looks like fuel line. We got an assortment of clamps, fuel filter, vent covers, air filter. We got a wiring harness. Got our exhaust. Okay, that looks to be about an inch. What else we got down here? We got a muffler. We got another rubber hose. And we have a T, which I'm guessing goes on to this outlet here somewhere. I don't see any connector to go in between those two. And we have the tubes. Let's see if those fit over there. Yeah, those fit right over that. And then we have, I guess that's for the air filter. We have another tube. And then we have the mounting plate. So that is a collection of all the parts that we have with this thing. So what I'm going to do is I have kind of an idea where I want to put this thing. As you can see, I'm running a little propane heater over here. Okay, my plan, this is where I store all the beans and a couple of other things in here. My plan is to put it over here, mount this over here in this corner, cut an opening into this insulation. I'm going to either make a shelf for it or just go down to Lowe's and get a wire basket shelf and drill a hole through the wall. I'm going to make a plate for the exhaust to go through because this is wood and I don't want to risk catching it on fire. So, but I will mount the tank outside, vent that out, and then heat. Now on the other side of this wall is another room, so I may cut an opening in there and split the heat from this room into that room. See how it does. It's not that big of an area, and it's 8 kilowatt, which I think is like 23,000 BTUs. So we'll see. Here is the other room. Pardon all the messes and stuff, but we have space along that wall over there. We can drill a hole through and then run that pipe and heat the stuff in here, which I need to clean up. It's a freaking mess, but keep all my car clean and stuff in here. Well, can't see it now because it's kind of dark. I just turn the light off. But I think between that room and that room over there, it'll help keep this room here fairly warm and toasty. That's the plan, at least. So this is going to be a process. I know there's a ton of people out there on YouTube who have done this and use these things and have pretty good results. Of course, most of them put them in like vans and stuff like that, but it's a small room and it'd be a lot cheaper from what I've read to run this thing versus the propane, which our house is propane, but I don't have it tied into that side of the garage over there. So anyway, so stay tuned. I need to get some more supplies and then I'll be back. Okay guys, all right, I didn't want to bore you with putting a shelf in, so that there is definitely not rocket science. Where the drill is sitting is where the car battery is going to sit, and then this shelf up here is where the unit is going to sit. And I did cut out some notches here for the exhaust and the air filter. I've kind of marked on the wall where I need to cut those boards out, and because I don't want that exhaust anywhere near wood. So what I'm going to do is cut a piece of metal. I'll cut an opening, obviously, in the wood. And then I will take this 26 gauge. I've kind of marked it out there. I don't know if those are the exact spots I'm going to use. And drill some holes in it, cut that out, with my cutter laying down there on the floor. Then I'll use this big honking step bit to cut through this. And then I'll drill some holes. And I can screw this to the wall and run this exhaust pipe out, which I'm going to wrap it with some heat tape, for motorcycle exhausts. I got plenty of that lying around. So that is that. And then I've still got to, I've got to do all of it. I've got to drill a hole in the tank over there for the fuel line. And let's see. So yeah, that's where I am at the moment. I did set that unit up on the shelf and I should have plenty of clearance. I do want to go to Lowe's and get some 3-inch angle pipes, and that way I can adjust the duct work. But let's go back over here. I'll show you where I'm going to mount this thing. My only kind of concern, and it shouldn't be that big of a deal, but You can see I got propane tanks sitting right here for the roaster. All right, those pegs up on the wall there, that's where the shelf is. So I'm gonna have to cut down around here somewhere. Fuel tank will sit farther down, and the exhaust, yeah, it's pretty far away from these tanks, and it's sitting outside, so, and it does have a muffler on it, but I mean, worst case, I can always extend it and aim it up. So that is the plan. Get my stuff marked off, get my jigsaw out, and we're gonna get to installing this thing. So my plan is to set it up on this shelf and then get those swivel 3-inch brackets, kind of bring it up, and then bring it over, maybe up under that board there. And then I do want to cut a hole through one of those sections there, cut a round hole, and that's going to be fun. This is some really old hardwood, and then punch a hole into that other room so I can run some heat into there, and then maybe run this tube down a little bit farther, and of course I'll have to get some more 3-inch piping, you know, and then do it here. I don't know, I mean, we'll see about that. I do want to get heat into the other room, and then obviously I've got to do a little more weather stripping in here. As you can see, I've got it all insulated, and this morning I come out here and it was about 48 degrees in here, so not horribly bad. I think last night's low was in the low 20s, so it's not terrible, and I think this thing will heat fine. So anyway, let me get my hole cut here. I'm gonna drill a hole so I kind of know where I'm coming out there. So let me get, actually I have a drill bit sitting right over there. Alright, so this will kind of give me an idea of where I'm going to come out at. So, and I measured this, let's see here, what was this? So this is about, let's go with, you know, almost 7 inches wide. So if I come to the end here, this will kind of give me an idea of where I'm going to come out. So, all right. So that's where the drill is. So, okay, let's go outside. I probably ought to just open my door over there instead of having to keep running back and forth. Oh yeah, we'll have plenty of clearance. You know, because this is the top hole right here, so it's going to come down to right about here. So I'll bring that exhaust pipe out, turn it this way or turn it that way, turn it away from the tanks, and then, like I said, my fuel tank will sit down here towards the ground, which we probably ought to test fit that too, because I may have to put one of these boards in here to give me a spot for it, because I'd like to have it like right in here, but I'll have to see if I got some boards that match that thickness. Alright, so let me go drill my bottom line. Ooh, it is chilly out there, and it did snow last night. Yeah, I like dusting, nothing major. Get spoiled in that Florida weather. Guess this ain't Florida. Okay, so let me drill one down here, and that way too. It'll make it easier when I gotta put the jigsaw blade through here. Run my extension cord over. Of course, yeah, Yeah, I probably should have cut my hole first and then put this in here, because I'm going to have to wiggle that jigsaw in through there. So let me take a measurement again. So I kind of roughed out that piece in there. So I said 7 inches by, what is that going to be? 7 inches wide, 4 inches tall. Alright, so, and I can get, what I'll do is I'll get the hole cut out, get the piece of metal cut, and I can screw that into place and then kind of set the heater unit up on top of the shelf and see where, approximately where I need the drill to get that exhaust hole out. So let's go back over here. So 4x7. And I think this piece I got mocked up is going to be plenty big enough. Let's see here. Down here. So this is, that's not going to be quite long enough, so I need to extend that out. I'm going to make this one about 8 inches. So we'll bring this out to 8 inches. That gives me plenty of room. Square it or somewhere. Okay, and then I think width-wise will be good. Yeah, because we're 5 3/4. All right, where to put safety glasses? Let's freak the dogs out. And get my gloves on. I was going to use the plasma cutter, but I need to get me a new helmet. Okay, so we got that. And I need a piece of crap wood so we can drill some holes into the corners. Kind of big for that, but let's see here. Let me see if I got any smaller bits. That'll work. crooked? Or is it bent? Oh, it's kind of bent. Wouldn't you know? It's kind of bent real quick. Still have the garbage. Let's use. I'm just going to put drywall screws in it anyway, so it might be too thick. That was straight. Voila! There's our plate. Take this honking thing and let's go back over to the other side. Get the camera set back up over here. Okay, well, let's see here. So here's our plate. Oh yeah, that'll be plenty big enough. Cover that really good. All right, so I will leave that up there. And let me round up my jigsaw and stuff, so I'll be right back. Well, that didn't work as planned. The jigsaw had a blade break off in it, so I'm gonna have to take that thing apart, figure out how to get that blade in. It broke right down at the collet. So anyway, we got the sawzall. So I was gonna cut this from outside because I couldn't get the jigsaw in here, but well, that's nice. That piece of blade there's got a nut screwed in. Oh, well, kind of not straight there. It's okay. We have a hole. Not the ideal way to do it. So now I got to go out there and screw that board that goes in between those two. Screw that into place. No big deal. Okay, so now we should be able to kind of screw this over here. Wish I had some shorter drywall screws, but I do not. But for the sake of doing this, we can always go back and put some smaller screws in, because I know these are going to go through. Yeah, let me actually let me go see if I got anything a little bit smaller I can use. So I really don't want to, as it is, I got these pins sticking out the wall. I don't mind a few things sticking out, but I don't want it to be super tacky. So, hold on a sec. You know, where is a tiny screw when you need one? Sure there's a joke in there somewhere. But anyway, I managed to find something that I think will work. Of course, I had some self-tappers. This will work. And they won't be protruding a foot out the other side of the wall. Okay. That looks pretty good. Now, when I'm all done with this, I don't know if I have any here. I need to get some high temp silicone, and I'll silicone around these holes. So let me go get the heater, and we're going to approximate where I need to put that exhaust hole. So let me grab the heater and the tube. Of course, I can look on the bright side, and I'm not having to do this underneath the van. So, that's good. Alright, so this thing will sit up here approximately like so. And if I want to go straight out, then let's kind of get an idea here, get it lined up with that. So, we're going to be right in about the center. So, right about there. And of course, I have misplaced my permanent marker. That's okay. So we'll start right here. Should be plenty big enough. I'll have that out like that. Of course, now we got to wrap this thing, and I'll just leave that on there in case once I wrap it, I need to go to a little notch higher. Then I can do that. Then we'll have to drill a hole over here somewhere, or pull this insulation back. And which I may just do that, and then run that fuel line up, and then it's got to come, that thing's got to sit at about a 35-degree angle over there. So I don't want anything near, although diesel is not really highly flammable, I'd really rather it not be sitting right near this exhaust pipe. But I mean, if you look, I don't know if you can see it because I can't see what you're seeing, but the fuel inlet is right here. I mean, that's an inch and a quarter maybe away from that exhaust pipe. So I guess ultimately it doesn't matter, right? Okay, so we've got that hole, and I keep forgetting to unlock this door so we can just walk around and see on the outside. So let's move over to the other side, and we'll commence to getting this thing wrapped. And of course I just left my gloves over there. Alright, so let me pause this, round up my tape, be right back. Alright, let's see if I can remember how to do this. And this stuff is fiberglass, so definitely wear gloves. Alright, I got a bunch scrap pieces left over. And let me grab me a pair of scissors. That's like crap, but see how far we can get with this piece. See if that would be enough to get it down through there. That might be enough. That's going to go off the wall. So let me kind of go check here real quick. Wouldn't you know it? It's like 2 inches too short. That's okay. We got more of it. Chili. Chili over there. Where are my things? My tin ties. Oh, here they are. So you'll need, if you decide to wrap it, you'll need these metal. You can get a kit on Amazon. Comes with these. Well, actually, it comes with the wrap, and I think it does include some tins with it. But you'll want one of these little locking tools. You put in a little 1/4-inch ratchet. That way you can tighten it down. So let's see here. Now, the tricky part to this is getting it through. While you get your tape held in place. Okay. And it's got a little slot in it. You just put your clamping down, and it should. A lot of times it'll just snap right off, and not supposed to do that. So let's try that again. It's usually supposed to pull it off and just break at the end, but yet stay tight, which I ain't worried about. I'll just take a pair of side cuts so keep doing it. We'll cut off the excess. That is not tight at all. And that one's going to snap right off. So let's just go ahead and break that one off. We'll do it again. So yeah, that's why I got a big pack of these. And if you do motorcycles, you'll want to get that spray, exhaust spray, and it's for this wrap. Stinks, but works good once it burns off. Okay, so let's try this again. Let's try going this way. Maybe that's what I was doing wrong. It's been a while since I've used this stuff. There, that's good and tight. Now I can I'll cut the excess off with my side cuts. Okay, so now we're just wrapping it around. And don't smack yourself in the face with it, like I just about did. I'm curious to see just how hot this little pipe gets. Now, it shouldn't prevent this from bending any. I did say I was going to get my scissors, didn't I? No, I did not. So let me get my scissors. So I got a little left over there. Maybe come in handy for other. I got one other box of it, so that may come in handy for other projects. I probably wasn't even catching all this, so make sure I'm looking so you guys can see. I'm bad at that. Okay. Now, obviously motorcycle pipe is a lot thicker, so you don't really need to go crazy with cranking it down as long as you get it good and snug. And that is going to go through that wall, and that could be a minor issue with having to make my hole a little bit bigger. I'm going to put 2 on this end here. But we'll see. Okay, we're going to make those side cuts. We'll cut that off. And then we'll go back over the other side and see what we're looking at. Wish I would have made that a little bit tighter through there. This stuff is not easy to cut. Well, it's not terribly hard either, but not want me cut off. There we go. Alright, let's go back over to the other side. See if we can get this through the hole. Okay. I knew it. I knew those things were going to be a pain. But I also need to enlarge in the hole anyway, so because that tape. Let's see how that goes. Man, those clamps just do not want to go through the hole. So if I go, okay, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go in through the other side so you can stand there and watch it come through the hole. Alright, so we have a pipe through the hole. Yeah, I still need to come over this way some. That ought to work. Okay, so then, let's see, where are we at? Oh yeah, guys, we're right there in the middle. Let me get that bracket. Yeah, I need to set that bracket and then figure out where I'm going to put this tank and stuff. So let me grab some stuff. Be right back. Okay. What they don't, here's the gas tank. This is a 10 liter. What they don't tell you in the instructions is what size hole you got to drill for this. Okay. So I got my handy dandy little drill thing out, and a 5/16 fits perfect. Okay. So what we're going to do now is drill a hole in the bottom of this thing, and then we got to get that nipple down inside that tank and through it. So let me Get a piece of electrical tape, and I'll show you what my plan of action is. Okay, it does come in the little kit with some self-tappers to mount this thing, which we don't need. And then it comes with the other side of this. It's got a screw. It's got a two rubber washers. Okay, so you're going to want to put one down on the inside, and then the other one will go on the outside. And then we just need to drill a hole, and I'll show you what I'm going to attempt to do. Okay, so there's a spot on the bottom, and there's a spot on the side. But so where I'm going to mount this thing is outside, pretty low to the ground. So I'm going to go through here on this side, and we'll see. Let's see. Okay, so we got that in, or through. Make sure you get any plastic pieces out of there, because you don't want that being sucked up into your fuel filter. Alright, so I'm going to use some 16 gauge wire. Let's see how well this works. And I'm going to put it through, okay, the nipple end. I'm going to take just a tiny little piece of electrical tape. Let me cut that so it's not so. I know I just had my scissors. Where are they? There. I don't need a big piece. All I want to do is stick this cable on. Hopefully it sticks. Okay. Let's see if this works. So our hole is at the other corner. Well, you can see it in there. Get it to go, because it's ribbed on the inside where it actually bolts in. You know what? Yeah, this is going to be not the only way. Of course, what I could do is use a cable coming from the bottom. So that might be easier to fish through. Yeah, now I can actually, yeah, I have one. Let's see if this will work. Got an old metal coat hanger. Let's see if we can get it down through that hole. And pull that cable up. Reminds me of the game of Operation. So we'll take this and we'll tape this to the end of the coat hanger. We'll pull this lead wire back through. And then we'll tape our other lead onto it. There we go. So that's through. So now all we have to do is take our cracked piece of tape off, put another piece of tape on. We'll connect the black and the red wires. Hopefully, this will work. Oh man, it's pulling the nipple up. See if I can get. There we go. Okay. You can see that's through there. We can separate our wires. I'm going to leave that on there just in case. Now, what did I just do with that screw? Okay, so we need to put the washer over it. A little rubber washer. Well, that's sure don't leave much room. See if I can pull this out a little bit more. They sure don't give you a whole lot of thread sticking through. Man, I don't want to fight. Of course, you can't see inside there, so I think it's got it. Let me get me a wrench and a regular pair of pliers. Okay, so we got an adjustable wrench and a pair of pliers. So we can tighten this thing down. Getting pretty snug. Yeah, feels pretty good. Guess we'll find out, right? Okay, so we're on there. So let me grab the bag of stuff that's got the fuel filter in it and all the little clamps and that piece of hose. So hold on a second. Alright. So we've got hose, we've got the bag of clamps, zip ties, which probably going to take all this stuff back over there. I need 2 of these little ones. Yeah, because we're going to cut the section for the fuel filter to go down like that, and it does go just like that. And then we got to go out of that into this tiny fuel line that they provide. So I'm into swapping that out and use some thicker stuff. I may have some motorcycle fuel line lying around. So we don't need much for this. So we'll cut off a couple inches. Keep it nice and close. Okay, so we need a clamp there. Okay, so that's on. Can we use some tiny Phillips for that? Should be able to. Yeah. It does fit on there pretty snug, so I'm not too worried about it leaking. But I will, that's the back side. You see the genius, and I mean a totally genius thing that I did. When I had that upside down, I had it mounted like this. It was top towards the right because that's how I want it. But I didn't realize I had it upside down. So I've actually got it on the side here, which means at this point, get below this, it's going to run out of diesel. Whoa. So that thoroughly, and I mean thoroughly, sucks. So, well, what are my options at this point? Well, I can take this out and find a screw and a bolt, and I got washers here somewhere, and plug this hole, and then drill another hole, and then take this thing back out, do this whole procedure again over to here, because the only other way I can do that is if I mount it like this, which would work. Yeah, that'll work. That way I don't have to plug that hole. I was just kind of, I'm right-handed, so I always kind of pour to the right. So I guess it doesn't matter. It's no big deal. So we'll leave it like it is. So anyway, back to this. That was genius on my part though, right? But hey man, you guys caught it. Okay, so that's that side, and then we'll okay, so the fuel filter, have that screw screwed on. And then we can take this out and mount it on the wall. And then, well, actually we need to put another section of this rubber hose and another little clamp. Actually, I'll need 2 clamps. And then we'll have to drill a hole and bring the fuel line, drill a hole for the fuel line, snake that up through the insulation. So we don't need much, another piece about yay big. It'll give us room for the clamp. It's about that much. Ought to do it. And then we'll just go ahead and get this fuel line on here. Yeah, lube it up with a little spit. Makes it slide on. Okay, so that's on. And we can put our screw on. Our worm clamp. Yeah, I know. I've read people's reviews. And they go to Lowe's and get worm clamps. These work fine. Are they the highest quality? No. But they'll work. Now when you really want to do this, then you might want to put a different kind of clamp on here. That way, if you ever got to change your fuel filter, it's not such a pain. Okay, can I bring the fuel line out with me? Apparently I did not. Let me grab that. Well, I must be, oh, there it is. Good thing I wasn't a snake, right? Would have bit me. Okay, so we just need to shove this up inside there. And go ahead and get our worm clamp. That, my friends, you might want to put a little bit of WD-40 on it. That is tight. But if it leaks, then I can just take it right back off, right? And spray a little bit of WD-40 up inside the rubber tubing. If that's an issue. I don't think it's going to be. Okay. So that's pretty tight, guys. Now we need to take you outside and we'll get this mounted on the wall. We need to drill a hole for this fuel line to come through, which I don't know what size bit that is, but it'll be just about perfect. Let's see. This is a 7/32 bit. Okay, so let me lift you guys up. We'll go for a walk. Getting our steps in today. Doing some stuff to the Mini. That's another upcoming video. Okay, let's see here. Let's go outside. Oh, gotta love Indiana. Sun never shines. Okay, you guys are in position. Let me get the drill. Okay, this thing does come with those 3 washers that I showed you. And see, now if I mount this right here, that'll work. Yeah, that'll. I just don't want this door swinging open. Let me see if I'm gonna bat the camera first or that. Okay, so I can scoot it over right about there. That way I don't think that door is going to hit it. All right, so we'll do that. I need 3 of these screws. Put it a little bit higher there. Alright, so that's done. Now, we just need to drill a hole for this fuel line. Okay, so let's go up underneath here. Alright. Move you back inside. I'm going to need to get that coat hanger so I can punch through that insulation. Or peel the insulation back. I think I'll just do that. And then tack it back in place. Alright, let me run that through the wall. Okay. Well, that took a little bit. But we got all this hose now, and I can re-tack my insulation back into place, or just clamp this on the outside there. Doesn't matter. Probably just leave it in there like that. Okay, I'm gonna have to get the shop vac and clean all this stuff up before I continue on. So I gotta put that bracket in place and get that shoved up in there, and then we'll have to install the muffler outside, and there ain't a whole lot of that pipe sticking through the wall. Kind of angle it down a little bit so it doesn't get water in it. So let me get the bracket so we can put the bracket on. Then I'll have to find some washers or make some little flat brackets to kind of hold it down and keep it from moving off of this shelf, which that shouldn't be an issue. Nah, I just need to, I may have to cut some pieces of that 26 gauge and run a bolt through there, or I got the bolts, I got the nuts. They're making some little tabs so they sit up under these little ribs here. So let me see what I got, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm gonna set this bracket on here. I'm gonna see if these little fittings I got will work to make a bracket. They may be, I may have to grind them down. Okay, so we have the exhaust pipe this side. Okay, so that's there. Now I got these little fittings here. Actually, they're for hanging stuff. I don't know if that's going to work. Yeah, I think it will work. Of course, it might be better to try and get the pipes on first. So let me, let's see here. Because that's got to be clamped on. Well, I guess, yeah. I don't think them bolts are going to get in the way too much. Alright, let's put one back here. And that is a 10 mil. Well, yeah, we'll go this way. Slide them to the right. I will come back and snug them up if I need to. Well, no, I definitely will snug them up. Like I said, it's a 10 mil, so and I'll show you up underneath here when I'm done. We'll move the camera over, show you my idea, which I just thought about strapping it, but I think this is going to work just fine. As long as it don't hit. As long as it don't get in the way of that muffler. Yeah, that'll work. And there's the fuel line right up under there. And make it nice and sturdy. Okay, so let me get me some other stuff. I'm going to get a little WD-40 and I'm going to put it around these fittings here. And then we can shove that pipe in there, and I got to get the worm clamps for that. So, be right back. Well, that wasn't long. Okay, I still got to get the air filter. I'm just going to have the air filter dangle down in here. It's fresh air in here anyway, so it doesn't really matter. but I will put this over. Not going to be easy to get to, or is it better the other way? Let's see here. It just depends. Yeah, that ought to work. So let's lube up that pipe because it'll burn that right off anyway. It is exhaust. Let's see here. Probably ought to take these stupid safety glasses off so I can see. It's a very tight fit over this tube here. Let's see if I can. There we go. All right, that is pushed on. And we can actually go right through here. See how well these worm clamps work, which I really ought to get a socket. Well, maybe I could put a socket on them once they get snugged up. Now, don't get your fingers under there, guys. Okay, that is snugged up. All right, so let me see how much room I got outside. So we still got the fuel filter we got to mount. So let me get my muffler and my ratchet. Of course, I suppose we could do a sound check, right? Outside. All right, I do have, where did I just put my gloves at? Back and forth, back and forth. Okay, now with the muffler, let's see here. Here is the muffler. It does have a bracket to mount it, which we're just going to have it dangle. So, no issues there. I'm going to snug these bolts up. Yeah, like I said, I'll show you up underneath here in a minute. We're going to go outside real quick. We're going to see about this muffler. Look at that, guys. That ain't going nowhere. Okay, so we're going to need this clamp, this, and put the gloves on. Because this metal is kind of sharp. All right, so let's move outside a minute. Then this should be the last of the stuff we're doing outside, unless I want to go caulk everything. Let's see if you can see what I'm seeing. There's our hole. Well, it doesn't say what direction it is. So let's put that there. Let's get our muffler on. And we gotta get it bent down a little bit more. There we go. That'll work. And like I said, I may look at getting some piping to extend this up. Maybe vent it up. Maybe put a little rain cap or something on it. I don't know about the quality of this, but there we go. Okay guys, we are done outside. What do you think? Opinions? I don't think it's going to get rained in. Besides, it's going to be hot exhaust, so it'll be drip right out. So I think that's going to work. We got our fuel line. We'll have to put some fuel in this thing. We still got to do the battery. What else we got to do in here? Okay, inside here, what else do we need to do? I need another clamp. Let me go see if I got another clamp over there, and we'll get this air tube installed on here. I'm gonna get my clamps. Be right back. That damn dog, come here. Piss on the ground. Well, guys, looks like, I know, sorry, I've been having you guys stare off into space. Derp, herp-de-derp. Okay, I apparently do not have, I need 2 more of those clamps that you guys just seen me with, and they are not in the packaging. So, we'll just shove this on here for now. Besides, like I said, it's just gonna sit up in here. We can just set it in there right like that. But like I said, I do need to get the wet and dry. Need to clean up some of this mess. So, because we still got to mount the fuel filter, which, you know what? You can see me standing here. This air filter thing can go, this thing can just lay down like that. That's no big deal. But I'm kind of thinking, you know, we can just leave all this fuel line. Well, you know what? I may have to zip tie that or something. At least to hold it temporarily. I'll have to look and see if I got any worm clamps laying around. So we'll do that here in a minute. But what I'm thinking is this bracket for the fuel pump, which I need to find a washer for. I didn't notice. Get my arm there. This is the fuel pump, and it says it's supposed to go at a 30-degree angle, and I will have enough room to put it there. Actually, I'll probably end up mounting it right there, and then we need to do that rubber tubing thing from there, and we need to get it from this inlet side to here, which they did not give enough of that rubber hose for that, so that's going to be an issue. But I can go ahead and use, well, no, how much of that do I got left? I really need, this is how much I got left. I need a piece to go onto here and say there, and then cut a piece of this off, and from there to there. So I need 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 more worm clamps, and cut off a section of this cable to run it from here up into there. Give me a screw to screw that in. These actually might work, these self-tappers. I'd rather have a drywall screw since it's wood. So let me work on that. Alright, so let me get my scissors. What else do I need? Scissors. Got my Phillips. I need the worm clamps. Alright, so be right back. Okay. What do we want to do first? Let's take and lube up this pipe. And I'm going to squirt some, what do I got here? PB Blaster. I'm going to coat the inside of that a little bit. We're going to shove this up on the fuel inlet. Okay, so we got that on there. Let's put a clamp on it. No, it'll give you a whole lot of room here. So we'll go up this way. Guess I need to find out what socket size that is. Just use a socket to spin these instead of a Phillips. Okay, so that part's done for the moment. Okay, so we need to cut off some of this hose. We'll leave that there because I'm going to end up, I want to pull this back and I'll run it up in behind this insulation, you know, because I know I don't have any clamps. And I did look, I've got 1,000,000 worm clamps and nothing that size. So let's cut off a piece here. And then we're going to lube up the bottom of that thing. Yeah, I'll put some on the top and bottom because I'll need it on both. Okay, so we're going to need to shove one of these down there. Okay, and then we'll shove this one down here. Alright, then we're going to need 2 worm clamps on here. So this is going to mount like this. So let's put those both facing out. Now the fun part. Let's see if we can put a little bit of lube on that. On that. Okay, so this is going to be the bottom. Okay, so that's in there good, and that stuff will dry off or be burned up. Okay, that's on there good. Put one down here. get it snugged, and then I'll slide it down towards the base. Should have brought them adjustable wrench over. Okay, that's pretty snug. Okay, so now we've got, how much more do we need? Because we're going to put that right about there. So I think if we went with there, I'm going to cut me some extra. That way I can zip tie this fuel line to this post, and rather have too much and too little, but I got plenty of this left over. Okay, so let's get a bit of lube on there, and we're going to need a worm clamp up there. I don't think I brought enough worm clamps over, guys. Nope, I need two more worm clamps. And I can just put that on. Let's get this up in there. Okay, that's good and shoved up in there. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, man. Yeah, I still got room. Man, they're definitely not the easiest worm clamps to screw in. Maybe I need a smaller Phillips, or different Phillips. We'll put this towards the bottom. Have to grab two more clamps and a zip tie, and then that way we can take this cable and run it over here and down into that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get that done. Nope, I need a worm clamp first. BRB. Alright, did I need two? Yeah, I got two. I got a couple zip ties. So we will take my zip ties and throw them on the floor. And we'll put a little bit of lube on this. Okay, that's in there pretty good. So let's get these tightened down. And let's do it that way. I was going to get another Phillips while I was over there, and got sidetracked with the Zip ties. Totally spaced it. Yeah, this one's worked this far. I don't know about you. I'm getting pretty excited. I gotta bring the battery. I think that's good and tight. I'm gonna bring the battery over. I gotta put, I think I'm gonna cut, the negative one has a lead on it, but I'll show you this thing I got for that battery. And the leads are just a hair too big. So I'll put some smaller ones on it, crimp some smaller ones on it. But I do have, next week should be here, I got a solar panel coming, and I'm going to mount that outside above where we were hanging earlier. And actually, I don't need to zip tie it, but I kind of meant to put that the other way. Okay, so there's about a 30-degree. That ought to work. I don't think I'm going to need those zip ties after all. But I gotta put head back on here. Yeah, I know. I probably should have moved a bunch of crap out of my way. Now let's see how many times I gotta do this without dropping it. That looks to be, you see that? I think that's about right. I'll move over this way a little bit. All right. So, there we go, guys. It is hooked up in here. I did want to, let's see here. I'll pick up my zip ties. I don't think I really need a zip tie here, but I'll put one there. Just keep that cable from moving. I will have to, I gotta go to Lowe's tomorrow anyway, so I will go to Lowe's and get, what am I gonna get? Oh, I'm gonna get those 3-inch pieces of duct and those swivels, and then I will get some more clamps, but that'll at least keep it from falling off. So I think we're good there, guys. Okay, so I'll leave that down here, that down here. I don't need those nuts. Don't need that, don't need that, don't need that. We've got that tightened up, don't need that. Put the hammer back. I don't think we need the, I'll leave the tape measure here, just in case. I don't think we need the scissors for anything, but we'll leave it there just in case. Yeah, because I'll have to zip tie. Once I get the wiring harness done, I got to bring the shop back over and suck up all this stuff here. And then take and move this insulation down here, right below where this can is, and tuck this fuel line up in behind that insulation. So that's all good. It's all buttoned up there. Everything's tightened up underneath here. Oh, that's what I was going to do. I was going to show you guys underneath here. Let me drop these tools off. Alright, see if I can do this without taking you guys off the tripod. We'll see. Okay, well, we're going sideways. Actually, no, let's go up this way. So you can see, get that cord out of the way. You can see up in there what's what. I'll park that right there. So we've got the exhaust clamp up there. We got the zip tie. Here's the fuel line. This comes out, goes down. I've got that zip tied to there. Fuel pump is mounted. We'll have a connector that goes there, and like I said, we'll move that fuel line. I'll go get my find my staple gun. I'll peel this out and tuck that back in behind the insulation. I got to clean that sawdust and all that stuff off there, and we should be good to go. So outside here, I need to put diesel fuel in there, which I'm gonna go ahead and do that here in a minute. And we've got our exhaust hanging down, so I think we're good, guys. So next we'll be bringing over the wiring and get that done, bring over the battery, and I want to try seeing if I can, I don't know if I got any small alligator clips, and maybe try to prime this and get the pump going before I even apply power to the heater. So let me see what I can do with that. And then we've got our ductwork still in here, pieces of the ductwork. I'm guessing this piece here was for like probably going through the floor of a car, which didn't really need that. And then we got the remote and those brackets there. I don't know what those go to, but anyway, I'll be back here in a minute. All right. Well, I'll show you. Well, first of all, it's the next day. Kind of ran out of time yesterday, so had the big Bengals game to watch, which they won. Woohoo! All right, what I did is I went ahead and made some little wire connectors. Got it hooked up to the battery. Now, I was kind of looking at these instructions, and they are about as cryptic can be. So I did stop at Lowe's and picked up, I don't know if you can see it. Let's see here. Up there, picked up that elbow. So what I guess I'm ready to do is plug this stuff in and see what is what. I have no idea. So let's I don't even know if this battery's gonna work, but I guess we're about to find out. Well, that doesn't want to stay snapped in there. So okay, where does this go? This goes into this. Okay, that's snapped in. Then this connector goes over here to the fuel pump. Let me snap all these. I can re-zip tie this stuff up. Okay, so there's that. Get the moment of truth here, because it's a bit cold in here. And it's snowing outside right now. Okay, so this here, I guess we can kind of run through there. I don't know what display is what. Okay, that does have a fuse in it. So let's go ahead and get our fuel pump hooked up. Okay, how's this supposed to go? I guess that's in there. And then that leaves this big fat one here. It doesn't want to seem to snap in. Unless I'm missing something. That's definitely not wanting to snap in. That's could be an issue, especially if you don't want to stay plugged in. So, and it looks like it only goes one way. Yeah, it definitely does not want to stay snapped in there. It looks like there's a pin bent down there. Maybe that's what's keeping it from going down. Okay, that snapped in. Had a bent pin. Okay, we do have lights. Peel this coating off here. Okay, let's see. See, that's what the display is, and I'm going to hit the tool button. Okay, so I guess it is on Fahrenheit. I guess this is a clock setting, so let me grab my phone so I can see what time it is. Okay, so let's get the time set. Oh, I guess I just turned it on. I don't think that's what I wanted. So I don't hear that pump kicking. But it does show a picture of the fan spinning. But it says it's drawing 11.2 volts. And maybe it takes a minute or two for it to start doing something with this fuel pump sitting over here. Okay, I hear it clicking now. This may take a minute, a long minute, to pull that fuel up. But hey, we know it's getting power. We know it's working. Well, it's running. It's not doing anything heat-wise. So we'll just hang here for a minute. So I'm gonna set this thing right there. I'm gonna get another piece of that hose. I don't know if you guys can see. Okay, it is definitely, if you look at that fuel line, you can see it's starting to draw up fuel slowly. I see some, not much. See one little section. Whoa. Definitely feel cold air coming out of there. Let's see. I'm not seeing any more fuel. No, I do. I don't know if you'll be able to see it here, right where my finger is. It's pulling. It's pushing it up. See if I can see if you're seeing what I'm seeing. It is. Follow my finger. And that is where the fuel is. It's slowly pumping air bubbles out of it, so. Well, this is exciting. Of course, I gotta figure out what the hell all the settings are on this display. Okay, the pump stopped. It may shut off because it did not have enough. It didn't get any fuel. Okay, so. So, what next? I guess we wait for it to time out. Okay, so maybe we need to turn it off and turn it back on. Okay, so it's turning off. And then we'll turn it back on. And another cycle should be enough to get this thing to fire up. And then I got to figure out, now there's a remote for it. I got to figure out how to work that. And I guess that clock is showing the amount of runtime over here, 7 minutes. Maybe that's a timer or a manual for a manual timer. I don't know. See, that's set to 10 degrees Celsius, or maybe that's what it's saying it is in here. I don't know. I will have to check. It's probably about 40 degrees in here, give or take. Nothing coming out of there. I don't know what the P 3.6 hertz is. And it's running 11 volts. I have no idea what that little thing is there. The little, looks like a mountain. It's definitely picking up speed. but I don't hear the pump running anymore. Let me grab that manual, see what it says. Where did I put the manual? Okay, so I don't know which it says press the up or down arrow. Okay, so now it's shut off. So let's turn it back on. Okay. Up adjust key. Up adjust working temperature or oil volume gear. Temperature control under the power on status. Long time press. Down adjust key can shift temperature control method. I don't need to do that. Under the power off status. Oh, beats me, man. This is making no sense whatsoever. There is no power on status. I can hit the OK button. I got no error codes. Okay, pump's kicking on again. So hopefully this time around, and I got a different symbol down here. It actually shows bottom left. It shows the fuel pump. And it's slowly moving fuel up. Guess there's going to be some trial and error. I just like to see it get some heat. And then down at the bottom, I don't know if you can make it out on this screen here. It's got at the very bottom an up and a down arrow, green and red, and they're moving back and forth. So I mean, you would think it would definitely make some more noise once it actually fires up. But I will definitely have to play with that. There's got to be a way to set the temperature. Okay, yeah, so it says under the temperature control mode, you long press the down adjust key to shift temperature control method, manual or automatic. The difference between the two is obviously automatic control keeps it at a set temperature. Okay, so I have to look into that, figure out how this control panel thing works. But the pump is still clicking away. And I'm still not seeing any fuel up here come through the pump yet. I don't see it leaking. Not leaking's a good sign, right? Now see, it just shut off again. I know there is a... Okay. It says there is a manual fuel filling description under the power off status. 5-time short press the up adjust. Okay, let's just turn this thing off. So I guess you have to, you can manually force prime this thing. Of course, I know a way to prime it. You just hook up 2 wires to the battery here and you start tapping on these leads over here. That's one way to do it, but apparently you can do it through this menu. So we are going to find out if that works. And I didn't see any like mounting bracket for this thing, so I have to figure out somewhere to hang it. Or stick some Velcro or something on it and zip tie it up here. Okay, so I'm going to wait for it to shut off. I guess it takes a minute or two for that to happen. So you can change your airspeed settings, your oil pump settings, which you can change those. I'm looking to see if there's a way to change all of this. There's another another type of display. So I guess I gotta wait for this thing to shut off in order to so that's down and that's up. So left, this left arrow is up, the right arrow is down. So once we're just waiting for this thing to shut off. Okay, I guess I need to find that other remote too. Let me get that other remote while we're waiting for this thing to shut off. Okay, so that's shut off. And I'm trying to open the back of this battery case here. I guess we have to program this remote, but I'm guessing it don't have a battery in it. No, this looks like 2 AAA batteries. Okay. Alright, so now that we're off, it says press the up arrow 5 times, 5 short times. That did nothing. Okay, so This is very confusing. So that is up. Okay. Well, guys, I apologize for this, but this doesn't make any sense. It says under the power off status. Okay, it's off. It says press the up adjust key 5 times, short press the up adjust key. Which I did. And I see nothing. It is changing the frequency, this hertz, is changing that number, but it's not, maybe you got to press like the power button in at the same time. No, now it's just coming back on. Oh, this is very convoluted. Well, maybe the third time's a charm with the pump, right? Unless this ain't the right instructions, because this screen looks... Oh, here we go. Duh. Maybe it helps you use the right screen here. Press and hold down button and setting button. Let me turn this thing off. Yeah. There are definitely 3 different remotes they mention in here. This is this remote. There we go. So you press and hold the down button, which is that one, and the setting button, which I'm guessing is the little wrench up there, simultaneously until the screen shows HOF to activate manual oil fill function. Then release the buttons and press the up button until the screen shows HO in. The oil pump starts working and its icon is lit up. Press the down button until the screen shows HOF to exit oil refill and the oil pump icon is off. Okay. Well, guess I should have turned over a few more pages. Let's wait for this thing to shut off again. But I'm guessing this is reading your battery voltage, because it says 11 volts, which I know this ain't the greatest battery in the world, but like I said, I got the solar thing coming, so of course I don't even know if that's really going to work here in Indiana, because the freaking sun never shines all winter long. But we'll find out. I'm going to like a little table over here to set crap on. Of course, I do have my extension cord in here, so if I need to bring the charger over and charge up the battery, we can do that. And I did pick up a combo set of hole saws, 3 to like 4.5 inches at Harbor Freight. So, once we can get this thing working, I'll lay out my pipes in here. I'll drill a hole, through the wall over there, so I know where I'm coming out on the other side. And will cut through this. We'll see how well it cuts through this hard-ass barnwood. Okay, so we're off. So you press the simultaneously the, what did it say? The down and the setting button. Okay, so it says HOF. Alright. Then it says to release the buttons and press the up button until the screen shows HO something or other. Okay, there we go. So you guys hear the pump clicking? I know we've got fuel. You know, you can't see my finger. It's down there. We've got fuel coming all the way to the bottom of the pump. But I don't see any fuel coming out of it yet. Oh, it's like that old Heinz ketchup thing. Anticipation. Are we going to get anything? Well, I know the pump's got to be working because it pumped it up. Okay, there it is. It's dropping back down. Okay, well, it's going down the tube instead of up the tube. What the heck? I have a Scooby-Doo mystery here. Let me go, while this thing's clicking away doing its thing, let me go look at that fuel line out there and make sure something didn't pop off. I gotta walk around the other side. Okay, I went and got the jumper pack, and I've got the jumper pack hooked up to the battery. Let's see if that makes a difference. Maybe that battery is just a little too weak. That thing's ancient. Ancient. Yeah, worst case, you know, I can get a motorcycle battery or something. I hear the pump working again. I don't see it. The fuel is like going backwards. Surely that thing is not hooked up backwards because it was pumping it up to it before. It doesn't really say in this manual. Let it run for a minute, see what it does. I did look on YouTube and it showed the connector at the top, and it kind of, yeah, if you look in that diagram there at the bottom of the page, you can kind of see right there, it shows like a little connector. But I did not see this fuel gaining any height now. Before, it was all the way to the bottom of this pump. But now, it's not. It's about halfway down. Let me tip the camera. I'll show you guys where it's at. See where's my finger at? Right there. That's about where it's at, wherever my finger is. Yep, you can see my hand there. Yeah. So it's definitely not sucking up fuel, or at least getting it past the point of the pump. And I really don't have to take this thing off here and blow through it. I don't even know if you can blow straight through it. Yeah, it's clicking. And everything I've seen on YouTube, that's what everybody complains about, the loud clicking noise they make. It's not doing anything else. It's definitely not going to run without no fuel in it. And see, the pump just shut off again. I can't say I'm totally not surprised. Alright, let's turn it off again. And this charger keeps going off. Okay, so the work light's working. Oh, if it ain't just one thing after another, guys. Here, I thought this would be the easy part. I was way wrong. Okay, well, the fuel level's not dropping. I went outside and checked that. It's not leaking. There is fuel inside the fuel filter. It didn't say anything in here when I looked at it about a specific volume. The outlet tube is at the bottom of that 10-liter tank, as you've seen in the other video, because I kind of goofed up and put it on backwards. But so there is no reason why this thing should not be working. I don't know how else to test this. I mean, I guess I could disconnect it from the inlet tube up there and see if that's the issue. Maybe it's just got too much air in the line. Let me grab that Phillips down here. Since I'm powering it off, we'll see what we can do. I did bring my battery charger out here just in case. This one will probably be a little easier to get to. Move all my crap out of the way. And maybe that's all it is. Maybe it's just got too much air in the line. I don't know. All I know is I'm dropping things left and right. I really should have probably picked a better spot for this. I definitely don't think it's going to leak. That hose is in there pretty tight. Let me cut that cable off there. Sorry, guys. Didn't mean to knock you around. Here, let me move you back here so you get a better view of it anyway. Okay, so we're off again. Let me see if I can get this fuel line unplugged from here. Take this air filter out of the way for the moment. Oh man, that is definitely on there. Okay, well, let's just take it off from the top then, since that bottom one doesn't want to, the little tube doesn't want to come out, so we'll take it out of the inlet thing. Alright, so now we'll turn the pump on and see if we can get this thing to pumping. If we spill it, we spill it. I feel no air. Coming through this thing. Okay, I think I'm getting somewhere. I was just sucking on the hose. Unfortunately, I got a cup or nothing over here to catch this in. Okay, we're getting fuel. Okay, so let's turn it off. Let me put my hose clamps back on. I think that may have been the trick, guys. Kind of suck it out of there. I just keep dropping that manual. Okay, got that one on. So we know it's pumping. We know it's pumped all the way through. There are a few air bubbles in there, but I will worry about those later. And we'll put a little air inlet tube back on. Let's turn it on, guys. Hopefully this time we have luck. Alright, it's on. You can still see it. I got some more tubing. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this inlet tube. I'm going to run this out and down some so it gets more of the cold air from the floor in here. And like I said yesterday, I got to put a little bit of weather stripping on my door here. Most of the room it's pretty well insulated. And let me go over there and see what the temperature is. Use my thermometer. Okay, the temperature in the other room was 46. So we'll leave that sit over here on the table close, about 5 feet away. Okay, the pump is kicked on again. I see it moving. It's definitely moving the air bubbles up. See if anything's changing on our display here. No, not yet. But it's definitely moving the air bubbles up. And it does show on here the fuel pump. Same as before, no changes. I think it's actually doing something though. I believe it is actually lit. It sounds like it's burning. Oh yeah, you can hear it sucking in air from this filter. Yeah, I'm starting to feel warm air come out of this thing. Woohoo! It's exciting. Alright, so yeah, that thermometer over there says it's 46 in here. You can barely hear that pump clicking now. It's picking up steam. Okay, so I guess it's doing something. Okay, there's 2 bars at the bottom, which are kind of hard to see, but I don't know if they're going to show up on this screen, but there's 2 bars at the bottom that weren't there before. Yeah, we're definitely getting some warm air. Wouldn't say it's hot, it's warm. We still got the 2 bars. Now we got 3 bars now. The first 2 are green, the 3rd bar is yellow. I don't know if they're showing up on there. Yep, you can see them. And it's definitely getting a little bit warmer. We got some smoke. That's that heat exhaust wrap. Oh, that's going to stink to high heaven in here. Well, it must be putting out some heat. Hey, let me go get my infrared. Oh, we got 4 bars now. See there, we got 4. So we got 2 green, 2 yellow. Oh yeah, that heat exhaust is gonna. It's still pumping fuel. Let me get my heat gun. Here. I wouldn't say it's hot. I mean, it's definitely warmer, much warmer than what's in here. The exhaust is reading 430 degrees. And we definitely do not want that fuel pipe on there. So let me, fortunately zip ties are. Let me get another zip tie here real quick, guys. Want to burn up the joint. Okay, we got 2 zip ties on there. It says we've got a red, we got 2 green, 2 yellow, and a red now. I wouldn't say that's hot. I don't know if that, I think of a JD will read the temperature of that tube. Where did I put that? Oh, it's going to stink to high heaven in here for a bit. Let's see here. Well, that's reading 109. The exhaust is reading 428. I don't think my heat gun's all that accurate. That's cold to the touch. It says it's 80 degrees. That's reading 313. I don't know if it gets a 5th bar, a 6th bar or not. It's still on the 4th red one. It definitely feels like it's getting a bit warmer. And 115. And it still says it's 46 degrees in here. That's still reading about 115. That's reading 60, 70 degrees. Wow, that's shiny metal though. The black works better. 118. Alright. I'm going to step outside here and see what that exhaust looks like. Be right back. Thanks for keeping an eye on that for me while I stepped outside. Okay, I filled up the tank. I got no leaks. It's actually pretty quiet outside. and our meter is still at 2 green, 2 yellow, 1 red. So I filled it up to right. It says 10L. There's a little rectangular box. I filled it up right to the top of that. So that's still reading 119. I don't know if there is other settings for higher heat. Let's take a look here. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so now we got two red, 2 yellow, and 2 green. And I got no errors or anything. So that's good. Okay, so is there a way to... That really doesn't feel warm. I wouldn't say it feels hot. Let's see here. Okay, it says something about the manual mode or automatic mode of the oiler. So you press and hold the up button and OK. I don't know what I just did there, but it's really blowing out some heat now. So okay, so 35 Celsius is the highest you can get this thing. So I don't know. I'm going to set it to 28. Let me see here. Let me get the phone and convert Celsius to Fahrenheit. Okay, so 28 Celsius is 82. So if we change that to 25, that'd be 77. 23. Let's set it to 20 degrees. 20 degrees Celsius is 68. Okay. Definitely warm. Oh man, it is smoky in here. That heat tape's burning off there, guys, so be forewarned. you put heat tape on it, just like on the bikes, man. Oh, that stuff reeks. Totally forgot about that. Okay, it says press and hold the up button and OK button simultaneously to switch between temperature control modes. Maybe I'm hitting the wrong up button. Am I on the right display again? Yes, I am. Yes. Okay, it says P30. So in auto it says 25 degrees Celsius. Confused here still. Okay, so I need it to say 25 Celsius. Okay, so now it's 22. So now I've got it in automatic mode. Alright, so automatic mode will raise and lower to get to your desired temperature, which we had set it to 21. Yeah. So we're going to leave that there for a minute. Yeah, it definitely gets hotter the longer it's running. I mean, it feels like it. Yeah, that pipe's at 135, 136. Okay, and the temperature display over there behind us says it is 48 degrees in here now. So that means, guys, it is working. So we set it to 21 degrees, and I missed a short-term memory. So that is 69 degrees. All right, so it is 4:30 now. So I'm gonna let this run for a little bit. I'm gonna let it run for half an hour. Okay, so I'll come back in half an hour. I'm gonna step outside. I'm gonna see how much fuel, since it's kind of marked out there, you know, where the fuel thing was. And then I gotta go get some AAA batteries to do the remote. Alright, but we are definitely rocking and rolling, guys. So I'm pretty stoked with that. Now I'm wondering, the other thing I was kind of wondering is if you can take off this air inlet thing here. Yeah, I don't know if you're going to be able to take that off. That ain't going to fit over that. I was kind of wanting to put a vent on this, which I probably can. You know, and have it draw more outside air, more of the colder air at the floor. Not that it matters. Alright, guys. So, for now, we are working. So if you guys get one of these and you're having an issue with the pump, before you even hook it up and you've got your fuel tank hooked up, initialize your pump so it's pumping, and then just start sucking through the other end of it. until you see it come past the other end of the fuel pump. And then that way, you know, you can actually let it dribble out and then shove it up into the inlet tube. That way it's good and primed. So, but you know what? This thing's actually cranking out some heat. What time did I say it was? 3:30? Yeah, so let's say 3:30. All right, so I'm gonna go set a timer in there and come back here in a half an hour, and we'll see how much progress we're making. So I don't know if it's gonna pick it up on the camera here, but it's definitely kind of smoky in here. So we'll let that burn off and stuff, but for now, we are good. We're coming right along, man. All right, so I'll be back in a half an hour. All right, guys. Well, I know I said a half an hour, but it's actually the next day. So, all right, I want you to see here, this is reading 15 degrees Celsius in the room here right now. And according to that display, I got 3 temperature gauges here. One's 57, one's 61, and one is 58. So, all right. Now this thing's advertised as an 8 kilowatt. And after doing some more reading, which I probably should have done better homework to begin with, I think they're advertising these things. Because everything I've read, you know, an 8 kilowatt is roughly 27,000 something BTUs. 5 kilowatts is 17,000 BTUs. So, and you can see this room here it's a 12 by 24. Okay, it's insulated. There is insulation in between these walls here. You know, so you know. I'll give an example here. This is a little heater that I've been using. This is 28,000 BTUs if I fire up both of those burners. Now, typically I don't. I only fire up one. You know, I'll fire up one burner, which is, I forget, so that'd be half that, you know. So, and it'll heat this room up pretty darn quick. So, and I'll set it like just right there where it's at, you know, so I get a little bit of heat, you know, in this room here. And then this room over here. So last night I fired this thing up, and yeah, it's putting out heat. So let's get a reading here with the ammeter. See if I can position this where I can get both. Okay, so output. Stick it right up to this thing here. That's on the output side. So let's stick this on the input side. And about 10 meters, 68 meters air coming in. So, I don't know. I'm highly doubting this thing is what they're claiming it to be. So, and now this is saying it's 16 degrees. Now, I can crank this thing up. And yeah, it's putting out more heat, but let's walk outside. Okay, this is what I wanted to show yesterday, where my marks were and how much fuel it is used overnight. So, like I said, we started this thing up, what did I say? It was like 3:30. Okay, there's your 10-liter tank. All right, and you can see where the fuel level is, sitting right here. The fuel level was up here, okay? So right at the top of that line is where the fuel level was. So this has used a considerable amount of fuel overnight, which, granted, it is about 27 degrees out right now. And let's see here. Let's see what time it is. It is 11:12 in the afternoon the next day. So and like I said, it is reading 57, 59 in here. And I mean, it does speed up and slow down, you know, because I have it set to the automatic temperature settings. So I mean, it's working, and I ain't complaining about that. It's working, and it is kind of heating this room. But 10 liters is 2.6 gallons of diesel. Diesel is what, I don't know, say $3.50 a gallon. You know, so that's $7. You know. For a full tank of gas. And if it used better part of half of that, so say $4 a day, you know, which I'll check it again. I need to get more diesel today, but I'm gonna leave it run and see what it's reading at 3:30 in the afternoon today and how much diesel it's gone through excuse me, versus using this. You know, I can take this over to my local co-op who we get our propane from and get this thing filled for, I don't know, I think it's about 12 bucks. You know, but I've never ran 2 burners in here because I've never felt the need to, because I fire up one burner and I go off and do some things, and you know, it gets it nice and toasty in here. So cost wise, yeah, I don't know, man. I need to measure, do another test and turn the diesel one off and run this thing continuous and see how long a 20-pound tank is going to run versus a 2.5 gallon tank of diesel. But that's where we are at the moment. I am going to do some more experimenting, but I mean, it is keeping it comfortable in here, so I ain't complaining with that. It's just cost wise, you know, over the long run, I mean, if this is using, you know, say a gallon of diesel a day, you know, at $3 a day, you know, do the math, you know, it's going to get kind of costly to run this thing. Of course, I know it's not designed for a room this big. That's why I went with an 8 kilowatt, you know, figuring 27,000 BTUs versus 17,000 BTUs. It's not going to take as much, you know, to heat this room. It's going to heat it quicker and maintain the heat better. So that's kind of where I'm at with it right now. So I just thought I'd, you know, put in some numbers and show what it's doing so far. And it did run overnight, and you know, I've just got my little battery charger thing on there. I'm trickle charge at 2 amps, you know, to keep this thing going. But the glow plugs don't really run. The glow plugs don't run when it's running. They're only used to start it up, and then they kick back on when it shuts down to burn off any excess fuel in the chamber. So anyway, I'll be back with more information. Alright, another thing people were talking about was the noise that this pump makes, which it's out here in the garage, so I really don't care. But they said you can take these pool noodles and stuff it over there. So let's do that and see how much volume or sound it decreases. Sorry guys, I'm off the tripod, so I'll set you right over here. Okay. Now you hear it. Actually, I think it's louder with the pool noodle on it because it's whacking up against the pool noodle. Now, one thing I did want to point out is this plate here, that where my hand is back there, is where this exhaust pipe is coming through, and it is ice cold. So if you're putting it through wood, that little idea worked out pretty good. But yeah, you can definitely, let me see if I can pull this off with one hand. Yeah. I don't notice any sound difference with the noodle on it. So, well, like I said, I'm out here. I'm working on other stuff. I really don't care. I'm usually playing music and stuff anyway, so you'd never even hear it. So I just thought I'd put that in there, so be back. Alright, I did check the gas, and it's using a decent amount, but I had to run uptown and get some more diesel, so I filled up the tank completely. Now I'm just doing a test. I put a cold air return down closer to the bottom of the floor, and my speed readings are about the same. My fat finger out of the screen there, and I cranked it up on high, but apparently 2 amp trickle charge wasn't enough. Went over to the other room, was doing some stuff, came back and it shut off. I had a low voltage error, so I've got the battery charger on 15 amps. So we'll juice it up. Worst case, I have a power inverter down there I can plug in until I get my solar panel, and it's AC to DC, and you can control the voltage on it. So I may test that on there as well. But right now, I did get the remote programmed. It says I'm at full heat, and it's 15 degrees Celsius in here, which is still what it's about been. And I've got this thing cranked all the way up to 35 degrees Celsius. So I'm going to see what it does and what kind of heat output we're getting, which is pumping out some decent amount of heat now. So in my reading, even though the ad from Amazon stated that this is a 8 kilowatt, and the sticker on the back side says between 1 and 8 kilowatt. This is basically a 5 kilowatt unit. So if you buy one, just get a 5 kilowatt unit. So, because what they're doing, from what I was reading, the 8 kilowatt unit would have to be quite a bit bigger than this unit, because it has to have more surface area on the heating thing, fins, and all that stuff on the inside of the unit. So what they're doing is they're pushing the limit of how much fuel you can push to it, which the problem you're going to run into is it can cause it to overheat and then it'll shut off. So now, with that said, this was like 189 bucks, something like that. So you can get a 5 kilowatt one a little bit cheaper with all the same stuff, and it's going to be the same exact heater. So you can save yourself probably about 40-50 bucks, just get a 5 kilowatt, call it a day. Now, for what I'm going to use it for in here, I do not need to heat this room 24/7. So, it gets radiant heat from the other side of the garage, and it keeps it fairly comfortable. Like right now, it's it's been about 27 degrees today. So, of course, kitty cat, she likes the extra heat. But like this morning, well, the other morning before I had this thing installed, it was in the 20s, like 22, something like that in the morning. And I come out here and it was still like 45 degrees out here, which, it's fine. So, and basically all I do is I come out here and, I turn on the heat and warm it up some, then I'll warm up the roaster. And then once I get the roasting, that thing generates enough heat by itself because it's propane. And then I usually just turn the heat off in here. So, is it that big of a deal? No. Will it work for what I got it for? Yes, even if it's not an 8 kilowatt, which I think is misleading and false advertising, and they should not list that. I'm not going to bother to return it because so far so good. It works fine. Did get the little remote programmed for it, which you got to have it turned off, and it's pretty simple to do. So now the upside to that is my diesel is sitting outside. So if I spill it, who cares? Diesel stinks. I mean, I got it on my hands, and what? An hour later, hands still reek of diesel, even though I washed them. So, is there a chance of a fire? Highly doubtful. I mean, unless this unit was to actually just burn up, But I don't think that's the case. And this panel down here is still, I mean, I got my hand on it. It's still cold. So that part's working. The disadvantage is diesel was $3.50 a gallon, so I'm going to track, using this and how much I'm spending on diesel. Got the propane over here. Yeah, it's nice. Puts out some moist heat, which actually can be an issue in here because then I get more moisture content in my beans. So, and that does affect roasting. So over the winter time, I don't really care that it's really super dry. want a lot of humidity in here, and then in the summer, I'll have to run an AC or a dehumidifier to keep the humidity out of this room. So the other advantage is you're not messing. This thing can blow up. Not that I've ever heard of that happening. I'm sure it has, but you got to be careful. It gets super hot. Walking through here, you can bump into it, knock it over. So, a little more comforting knowing that I ain't possibly going to blow myself up and this thing get a propane leak and kaboom. So that is a plus side. And Kitty Cat is telling me how much she does like the warm temperatures in here. So anyway, right now we are clocking. Let's check our little meter here, see what it's doing. So you're seeing that temperature is about 147, 150 degrees coming out of here. It's actually pretty hot. I got my hand along the edges here and it's getting really uncomfortable. So it's cranking out some heat. I just wanted to see what it's going to do when you set it to the highest setting of 35 degrees Celsius. And the temperature in here is still 55 degrees, but I'm sure that'll be going up. And also too, I am heating this room over here, so the warm air that comes out of this room is going into this room, which is kind of what I got it for. And like I said, I'll want to cut a hole in that wall and run another T off, run that T off of it that it comes with. Oh wait, it's down here somewhere. That's here. So it does come with this T, so that'll be perfect because I can come right out of that, set it on the wall like this, and T into that other room, and then just extend this side, left side down a little bit more so I get more heat out to that way. So far, so good. Pretty happy with it. Kind of bummed it's not really a true 8 kilowatt because that's like 27,000 BTUs, which is comparable to that heater over there. As it is, it's 17,000 BTUs, but you know what? At the end of the day, it'll work. And it keeps it comfortable out here. I mean, 55 degrees is plenty fine. So anyway, just thought I'd give it an update, and I may add on to this a little bit more, kind of give a little progress update before I get this done and post it up there. But so far so good, guys, so I'll be back here in a little bit. Alright folks, got the solar panel installed. I didn't record it, it's really not rocket science. Mount the bracket on there and we'll go inside and I'll show you. Okay, so here's the wire coming in right there, and it just plugs in to the part that says solar. And then you got a lead coming out that goes down here to the battery. I do have another cable that I may, instead of using these alligator clips, use that instead. I have nothing on the load side because I have the heater itself plugged in directly to the battery. So, and as you can see, it is flashing and the solar panel is working and doing its job. So, all right, now I did reach out to the seller of this product and mentioned I had wrote yesterday sometimes, and I will do another update, because I'm questioning this is, I'm about 99% sure this is not an 8 kilowatt. I'm pretty sure it's 5. But yesterday morning at about 7:48, what did I do? The temperature was 43 in there, so I cranked it up to 35 degrees, highest setting it would go. And 10 minutes later it was 45. About 20 minutes later it was 50. And then about another 20 minutes after that it was 54. And then about another 20 minutes after that it was 57. And that's pretty much where it peaked out at. So, kind of disappointed in the heat output of this thing. So what I'm going to do is, of course, we already discussed the propane tank, pros and cons of it. So it's supposed to get pretty cold here tonight. Today it's like, I don't know, almost 50 degrees here, so I'm not got any heat on. So Number one, I'm going to test the solar panel's effectiveness with keeping this battery charged, which this is a really old battery, so I don't know if that's even a really good test. But anyway, I do have a power inverter down there that I can use worst case. But tomorrow I'm going to set about where I'm standing. Actually, I may back it up a little bit because there's the output. And turn on one burner on this propane thing, because I think this the total output is 27, almost 28,000 BTUs. And I'm going to clock the same times, see what the temperature was here in the morning, and see how long it takes this thing to warm up the room versus that thing. So we're just going to kind of see. I'm going to wrap this portion of it up. It is up. It is operational. I did get an error yesterday telling me it was an E08 error, which means that the lack of fuel or something or other, but I checked it and the fuel line was completely filled, and the fuel filter outside has no debris or anything in it. So I don't know, maybe just had a brain fart, but it had shut off, so I just turned it back on. It was working fine. But I mean, other than that, I did have one battery error, and I don't think I had the charger hooked up. So like I said, this battery is really probably not going to be a tremendous, really good test for this and the solar thing, because the solar, A, we're in Indiana, and we don't get a whole lot of sun in the wintertime. And B, this battery is really, really super old. It is, reading voltage, so, but we'll kind of play it by ear on that. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to wrap this portion of it up, get it out for you guys, and continue working on my other project here with the KP Mini. So I will give an update. I'm still, like I said, I'm still waiting to hear back from the seller of this thing. Am I going to return it? Probably not, because I did note the one thing I did see is, not that it matters, but this is the upgraded control panel thing, and it has that little remote control, which does work. So, and it will turn on, and you can raise and lower the temperature with it. So anyway, that's where we stand on that. I'm waiting to hear back from the seller on this thing. Like I said, I probably won't return it, only because it does work. And for what I need to have it work for, it'll probably be fine. So, I mean, unless they can truly provide me a real 8 kilowatt diesel heater, which I highly doubt is going to happen. So, but anyway, that's where we stand at the moment. So thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of this, and stay tuned for any updates I have on the solar and the diesel heater and other projects that I'm working on that I'll be getting out here shortly. So thanks again, and have a good one.